Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? I have one question and one question only. Are you subscribed to the channel? Because if you're not, I'd be greatly appreciate you consider subscribing. Seriously though, we're on the way to 60,000. We're actually like really close to 60,000 subscribers. If we can hit that, if you guys could just beat the flip out of the subscribe button and just get us there today. You know what? F it. I want 2,000 subscribers today. This is asking a lot out of you guys. Please help me. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, before we hop into things, let me explain what's going on here. So we are going to be going over 7 tips. I realized that the last time I posted a tips video, I also titled that one 7 tips, and it was 8. You know what? No one ever fusses about whenever I give extra content, but if I don't give enough content, god dang it, Expel, you just, gosh. But these are going to be fantastic tips. It's going to be all about working with your team, working even as a solo, and just helping you get better. It's a lot of knowledge that you actually have to think about instead of just being like, well, I'll do this, I'll do this. It's not how it works. This one's all about thinking and making sure that you're making the smart plays. So if you do go on to enjoy, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, drop the video like a billion likes on this video would be great. At least like 1,000, dude. That'd be like cool. I think 1,000 is fair. Yeah. And then also subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. You can also follow me over on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way up until whenever the flip I feel like anymore. Okay, what's up? Anyway, I hope you guys do enjoy, have fun, get better at the game. Let's make it happen. Before we jump into the tips in today's video, I would like to remind you that I do make these videos for a general audience. I, as a content creator, have no way of knowing who's going to watch my videos. So I want to make sure that I'm trying to help everyone that I possibly can. With that said, if you know any of these tips, first, I thoroughly apologize. Second, please do me a favor and let me know in the comments down below which ones you knew, or maybe even let me know some more tips that you would have and you want to share with some other people in the comments to help them out as well. Regardless, let's go ahead and hop into our 7 tips. With tip number 1, I highly recommend that you just shoot. When your team is getting shot at or someone on your team is getting shot at, don't be that guy that just stands there and waits for their teammate to die. This is something that is a huge pet peeve of mine. You'll see it in the videos that I make, that I will literally fuss that my teammates aren't shooting. I'm sure you'll hear some kind of excuse like I can't see them or something like that. The point is that they just shoot. Most people are going to get a little bit scared whenever bullets start flying their way, but if they have an open area to just shoot the enemy, then it's going to be a free kill. So what you want to do is make sure that you're shooting your gun just to scare the enemy away or give your teammate a chance to get away from the gunfight. On tip number 2, I would highly recommend that you stop looking at the ground. This is kind of an aim tip, ladies and gentlemen, and it's something that I've found myself catching myself doing very often. I tend to look at the ground whenever I'm running, and this will make it to where you really can't snap to your target, especially when you're on controller. On PC, it might be a little bit easier, but it's still kind of difficult because you can really just overdo it with a mouse and keyboard. But when you're on a controller, it's the exact same thing, but maybe just a little bit worse. So when you're looking at the ground, you have to actually go up and then look even further up, or a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, depending on what the enemy does whenever you go to shoot them. So looking at the ground makes it harder and slower for you to actually aim onto the enemy. So what you want to do, and this is something that I recommend to pretty much everybody, is if you're playing on a monitor, kind of raise it up to your eye level. If you have the ability, I don't care if you stack it on books or something like that, just do something to get that monitor raised up to your eye level. This is something that as gamers, we have a massive issue with, and this is something that you'll see a lot of, you know, newer players or a lot of lower kill death ratio players doing. If you go look at streamers and people that are actually ridiculously good, you'll see that they aim pretty much straight forward, you know, where their head should be facing, so that they can shoot to the chest or the head very easily. And if you go watch some of the clips on my channel or the videos on my channel, you'll see that I do this exact same thing. I do my best to catch myself when I'm looking down and pull that aim right back up to the center of the screen. When you do this, it allows you to hit the target easier. So make sure that you stop looking at the ground, do whatever it takes to make that happen. You know, tilt your monitor a little bit if it's easier for you. But I also found that not looking at the ground and having a monitor a little bit higher up actually fixed some headaches that I was having. So it's actually good for quite a few things other than just Warzone and other than, you know, just Call of Duty and games like that. It just helps you like in real life too. That's kind of cool. Tip number 3 is to not get over anxious for kills. I know I just said just to shoot, but hear me out here. If you shoot at everyone, if you just pop a shot whenever someone shows up in front of you, more than likely you're just going to give your position away and make it easier for the enemy to kill you. So what you want to do is wait until you know and that the enemy's basically out in the open, or that you can team shoot the enemy if you're playing, you know, duos or trios or squads, right? So you want to make sure that you will have the advantage. You hear this a lot out of me. You want to make sure you have the advantage. You want to make sure you have the upper hand, stuff like that, because that's what this game is all about. Whenever it comes to Warzone, the time to kill in this game is actually very, very short. It takes very little time to eliminate an enemy. So if you have your team to help you out, it'll make it a lot easier to do so. I also recommend, you know, you maybe use a little bit more accurate weapons, but that's a different story for a different day. Tip number 4 is to make sure to call out if you need a trade. Something you might hear a lot in my videos whenever I play duos with Pipe, which by the way, you should go check him out. Anytime I'm playing with him and I get caught in a bad situation, you know, I'll say trade out, or I need some help or something like that, or I'll go pipe, so that he knows, hey, we got to switch in, we got to trade out because I'm low on health and you know, I'm gonna die. I don't want to die. If he's close to me, I say his name. He usually knows that I need help, especially if he knows exactly where the enemy is. But try and call out when you need that trade instead of just, you know, ego challenging in and going for those kills at all cost. If you're, you know, not calling out for that, you might go down, and then if your teammate gets there a little bit too late, it's not going to be good. So make sure that you're calling out if you need a little bit of help. Don't just sit there and ego chow everything. Make sure that you're holding your pride back a little bit, guys. I'm 100% serious. Pride is such an awful thing, and if you're not calling out for trade, if you're so worried about kills in this game, then it will be the death of you. Tip number 5 is to not separate from your team. This is a huge deal, and it's something that pisses me off immensely. Ladies and gentlemen, please, for the love of God, stop running away from your teammates. I don't know what the deal is. Stop looting 400 miles away. Whenever you're ready to go for a bounty, push in with your team. If you literally say, hey, let's get this bounty, everybody grabs the bounty, and then one guy's like, you know what, brother? I'm gonna go loot over here while you guys go shoot. That is the dumbest move I have ever heard. If you need something, ask your teammates. Do not split up from your team, because if you die, then you could possibly be the reason that your whole team dies. Because if you're in a 3-on-4 scenario, or a 2-on-3 scenario, or a 1-on-2 scenario, it's not going to be good. Basically, it's 10 times harder for you to get that kill. So make sure that you're doing your best to stick with your team, to make sure that your team is able to push forward and progress throughout the match. It can be absolutely destructive if you get away from your teammates, because they could need you or you could need them, whatever it may be. And it's just kind of an awful move, to be honest. It's just mean to your teammates. Like, if you want to play by yourself, play by yourself. But if you don't and you want to play as a team, then play as a team. Moving on to tip number 6, we find ourselves at our upper hand card, the trump card. Anybody? No? Okay. So once you have the upper hand, I highly recommend that you take the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. If you knock someone on the other team, do your best to either clean that kill or push in to kill the guy that's going to go for the revive. It never fails that someone will always try and go for a revive if that enemy is knocked and they have a little bit of cover. If you are within running distance before that revive is going to be finished, have a teammate, you know, push with you and get those cleans on those guys so you have the advantage. Take the opportunity when you have the upper hand, whether it be you have one guy knocked, you have two guys knocked, you know, you have somebody that's got broken armor. As soon as you crack that armor, that's instantly like 6 shots less on a person that you have to put in. So if you want to do your best to push in and take that opportunity, that's going to afford you the win in most cases on any enemy's team. Now, I do understand that every once in a while somebody's a little bit scared to push in, but this is, like I said, stick with your team, push together, and you will come out on top, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, another thing that is kind of controversial based on the things that I just said, but it's all about knowing when and when not to do certain things, and that is to split the push and pinch the enemy. If you do have that advantage. If you did get that upper hand, or if you have an enemy that is looking at one specific person, then it can actually be very helpful to split the push. Have 2 teammates go one way and 2 teammates go the other, or have 3 teammates go one way and 1 teammate flank around the backside to try and catch the enemy off guard. This is a fantastic play, and one that you'll see myself as well as my friends in my videos do very, very often. I'll push one way and my teammate will push the other. They'll try and catch them off guard while I'm trying to hold their attention and just kind of peek shot over some sort of cover, and it works out pretty well most of the time, and I highly recommend you give it a shot. If it's not for you, it's not for you, but basically, like, you want to stay close enough to where you can work together, but at the same time, you want to be able to split so that you can get the kills. So like I said, some of these tips in this video are a little bit, back and forth, but it's all about knowing when to do certain things within Warzone to make sure that you're the smartest player in the lobby. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna do it for the video. If you did go on to enjoy, please, first of all, let me know what tips you found useful. Let me know if there's something that you're not doing that I told you to do that you're gonna now do because I said that you need to do that thing. Okay, also, don't forget, if you did go on to enjoy, to drop the video, like, subscribe if you're new around here. Once again, we are going to 60,000 subscribers. Subscribe, hit it, slap it, beat it down with a baseball bat or a big old stick. I don't know, do your thing. Just don't break your computer, or don't break your computer. I'm sorry, I'm a bad influence. Also, turn on notifications. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. And make sure to go follow me over on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes other days. I don't know. I'm getting into it a little bit more. So I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Twitch, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way up until whenever I feel like. But YouTube videos go live at 2 every day. Anyway, thank you guys immensely. I hope you have a fantastic day. Go give your grandma a nice, firm handshake, or don't, because the sickness going around. I love you. Have a good day.